Chris Perkins.
Pleased to meet you. I'm a Cockney, not a Pom.
Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Oh man, look at my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost. Like a coin that won't get lost. Rolling home to you.
One correction there. It's a full-day mission for the missus.
Yeah.
I don't go near it.
Very cool.
Okay, come in. Right,
Alrighty.
take a seat.
Look at this.
Homemade table.
Wow.
Homemade chairs.
Is this just for us, or is this what you normally sit on, mate? I think you've just put it on
Mook.
for us.
This is Mook.
Hello, Mook. Sabadi.
Right.
Ah, very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
check these out.
Are they like pumpkin chips or something, are they? Or is it crackling? What is that?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin? It is pumpkin.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge pumpkin fan, but like that, I'd get fat on those, mate.
They're squished into a little...
You mashed them, have you?
Yeah, you mash them, put into a flat plane. You then cut them up, put them in the sun to dry, put them in the frying pan. Oh, another thing about health. Stop using vegetable oil.
Mm.
That stuff is lethal.
What do you suggest?
Pig fat.
Pig fat? You can buy that in bottles?
We've got the pig.
We don't.
Yeah, you go down the market. You go down the market.
What we put on the Lao barbecues. They usually use the fat to stop the meat from sticking in it. Yeah. Just.
So this is some of our pork. Take a nibble. See what you think.
That's pretty good, mate. How long will one pig last you guys? How often are you?
2 months.
2 months. You're knocking off one every 2 months, and that lasts your family.
Yeah. The family here and in the house. So there's one other adult you haven't met. That's Nitz's sister. She's a bit disabled. She had polio as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So she's physically small. She thinks like a child. But she putters around the house, cleans the house, does the dishes, looks after the place. Yeah. So she's part of the family. She's a bit daffy.
Well, it's like that in just Lao all over, coming into a family. It's not, you're just not marrying the wife and maybe her child or something. You are marrying into a family.
Yeah. And they will come and they will lean on you a bit. But from their perspective, they're not leaning on you.
No.
You're part of the family now.
And the day will come where you're going to be leaning on them. They're going to be looking after you.
Yeah. Especially when you're going off in a box.
Yeah.
Are you happy with this or you want a beer?
No, mate. No, I'm fine.
Okay, that's fine, because I don't drink much.
Be truthful, I'm not a big drinker.
You can fool me.
That's because I'm not lying, no. But
no.
Usually, when I'm drinking, it's when we're out at a place that usually is that I am videoing. It's when we're on the road. When we travel, we'll go to a restaurant and we'll have two large bottles of beer at the most between us. We'll come home from a trip and there's no beer in the fridge. I don't go down to the restaurant and drink.
I was wondering about that because when you were talking to Lynn, you hadn't got any beer. All right, I thought,
I said I'll just grab us some water. I felt so bad. I did. I said I'll just grab us some water, and she said, I wouldn't mind a beer. Have you got a beer?
Oh,
I don't. So yeah, I've often said I must come across as a big drinker
you
because
do.
all
Because
my
that's all
videos-
you seem to talk about.
But
When you're talking, oh, come over and have a beer, mate. Crack a one, all this sort of thing.
but no, through the week there's no beer in the fridge. I go to the gym. I try to eat healthy, which is hard to do. Trying to eat healthy here, you know. With
Really? Oh, because the amount of food.
the amount of food
Yeah.
and the amount of celebrations and friends and things like that, and the way they cook. You know, sometimes they love their deep fried food, and
They do. They do.
we'll make sure she has asked that question.
I think it's.
But I'll hit you with that same question.
Yeah.
What's it like being married to a Lao person? You've been married before. This is your fourth. So the differences, the main differences,
What's the main difference?
compared to a first world Western lady.
The difference is they have a very different idea about what their role is in life. They're basically is your job is to be financially supportive, and my job is to do everything else. That's the Lao female thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, I'm not allowed in the kitchen. I'm not allowed to clean anything. I'm not allowed to do anything.
Not allowed to make your meals, and
No.
yeah, I do that, but I get the impression I'm not supposed to be doing that. You know, she's
She's
always
tolerating you.
Yeah,
She's tolerating you doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
But if you said, I don't want to do this, she said, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah. So what it comes down to is more just old-fashioned, what we would call in the Western world
An old-fashioned marriage.
Old-fashioned
Yeah.
marriage.
But I tell you,
But they're happy with that.
they are absolutely happy
Gives
with
them
that.
purpose.
That is their role in life.
How did you guys meet? Yeah. Was she speaking English then? Could she
She could speak a bit.
speak a bit?
I was in Vientiane. She had a niece running a coffee shop in Vientiane. And I'd actually spent some time chasing this other woman's sister around, but that didn't pan out. And so she hooked me up with her. And
Here's a young
Didn't take any time.
60-year-old running around Vientiane. Probably spending nights at the Secura bar buying balloons.
I wasn't much of a party man, but I'll tell you, we were running a cheap backpacker in Vientiane in the glory days, 2000 and I took over from my mate who was running it when I came, and we ran it from 2010 to 2014.
Before they shut it down around 2013, didn't they? They shut the bars down.
22 people died in the river.
1 year.
Yeah. One of them was one of my guests. There was a slide there made of concrete. And it was called the slide of death, because you slide down it and basically your body gets off the end, but your neck doesn't and your head doesn't, and he basically slid his body off and he snapped his neck.
How do you mean you slide down it and you
get to a point and then the body weight takes over, but your head is still on the slide.
Oh, when you're going down feet first, you mean? Okay. Okay, yeah. Because I was thinking going down
Oh, no.
face first.
Yeah, 22 died in the river, and there was another 3 or 4 died of drugs and other things.
Yeah.
It was a pretty crazy time. And we kept telling them, you've got to do this, shut this down. But what did it was somebody whose son died in the river, and they went and complained to the government.
Was that an Australian guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Australian government.
And
so the Australian government that was actually handing out some money to our government said, "Oh, you better stop this." So they
wanted an inquiry into
the
it.
Police came up and they just shut it all down.
Yeah.
It was insane, absolutely insane. There was a lot of disrespect for the locals, because I had a few guests ask me, "What do the locals think of us?" I said, well, they like your money, and that's it.
Yeah.
They would rather you were
Very,
there.
very disrespectful. Yeah, once they get some piss and that in them, walking around just in bikini up the main road and things like that, pissing on the footpath and up against walls. And
No
they
respect.
think nothing of it. Now, would they do that back home? They
No.
wouldn't.
No, because
No,
they get
they-
arrested.
Yeah. Why do it here?
Exactly.
Did we answer this question out here on camera, or did you mention it in the car? How does owning and running a business like a pig farm in Laos compared to doing the same in the West? I do remember you telling me. I can't remember if it was
It's
on camera.
the easiest thing in the world because there's no rules. No one's going to get you filling out forms. No problems whatsoever. You just set yourself up and you buy in your feed. There's plenty of places to buy your feed.
No regulations.
No
no
regulations
inspections.
whatsoever.
Nothing.
No inspections, no nothing.
So your answer would be
It's the easiest thing in the world. However, there's a corollary to that. And that, of course, is the fact that you can't do it if you're a foreign. What you can do is find a partner who is Lao and you can do it with them.
Yeah.
And so that, again, comes back to the whole issue is you've got to have someone you can trust.
Yeah.
It's either got to be someone that you're not married to. It doesn't have to be someone you're married to. It can just be someone you know you can trust.
Yeah. You have to trust them completely. Yeah. Actually, that was Peter Stone. That wasn't Jim and Harriet. Here's one from Jim and Harriet.
You can pass the potatoes.
What adjustments have you had to make in living in Laos? They want to know the top 5 adjustments.
Top 5 adjustments.
I did ask you that when we were outside.
Might have
Yeah.
I think rather than thinking about what adjustments do you have to make, it's that you have to have a flexible personality so that whatever you hit with, so rather than say you've got to have an adjustment about your politics or an adjustment about how much money you've got or any of these adjustments, you just got to be flexible.
Yeah.
Living here is much, much cheaper than you will live. Well, I can't speak for the rest of the third world, but I'm saying here. And the other things you got to think about is how many people are there here? So people talk about, what's the comparison between going to the Philippines or Thailand or Cambodia, right? There's a lot more people. The cheap price for electricity is 5 cents kilowatt hour. Okay, that's if you use just a small amount. If you're the top whack, you're still only paying 10 cents a kilowatt hour. There's no line charges or any of that other stuff onto it. If you can, the first adjustment I would say is learn to live without aircon. Yeah, it's a bit of a.
Yeah, it is tough. April, May, coming into June.
You just have to learn to live with it. If you want an easy life, because the point is, if you're in an aircon car, an aircon house, and you go out for anything, boom, it's like hit with a wall.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Learn to be happy with a sweaty shirt.
Yeah.
That's an adjustment for you. Yeah. Is Neenee not eating?
I don't know what they're doing, mate. I don't know. I'm sure your wife has told her food's on the table, but
Honey,
are you
Ginkgo.
gonna eat?
I love this. I want to buy this.
Boy,
Yeah.
it's very expensive, but honey,
No.
I don't think I can afford
I
it.
think I have special price.
You get special price.
With patties. There you go. Try that.
Okay, thank you.
Why a rural lifestyle, Chris?
Why?
Why? Yeah, you've been in Vientiane and places
Yes.
like that, but now you've
Yep.
settled in
To a
the
rural
country.
life because lack of noise. I can on a clear day I can look up and see the stars. I don't need a car. I just jump on my motorbike and go where I need to go. I go down to Pakistan on a motorbike.
Yeah,
No problem. Little 110cc go out.
yeah.
That everybody uses.
Yeah.
So I use a thimble full of fuel. So all this panic about the price of fuel going up, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you don't miss city life at all, mate?
No, not at all. I lived in New York City for 2 years in Queens. Where else have I lived in? I lived in Hong Kong for a couple of months. I've lived in Tokyo. I've lived in London, obviously. I lived in Hamilton. Do you know where Hamilton is?
New Zealand.
Yeah, that's south of Auckland.
There's a Hamilton near Newcastle where I live.
Yeah.
But I knew it wasn't that.
Named after the same guy, I am sure.
Yeah. Hamiltons all around the world.
There are.
Yeah.
Good idea ขนาดเลย Good idea about this.
Yeah.
Love.
That's what I said to him.
He's made a little. After we've finished eating, you go and have a look. He's just made a little frame, and and he just. He's a very. He's Thai, and he's just very good at making stuff. Like I say,
Anyway.
he got all these. Yeah.
ยก
Cô điểm cái nhục
เนี่ยยัง
Yep.
ยกอันนี้ me and she similar same age
Did you ask her, what's it like being married to a Farang?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
already
You did? What was it? What was her answer? What is the biggest difference?
very different you mean married with
But
Farang
yeah,
and Laos
yeah.
very
Compare.
different compare
Yeah,
Do you like it?
the same can
the same
Yeah.
very different.
Very.
very different
It is good. You've been happy.
Yes, very good.
You would recommend it to more Lao women marrying a Farang?
Yeah, I think so.
If you get the right one.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you,
Yeah.
there are some right specimens out
Yeah.
there who, unfortunately, they don't learn to think about how lucky they are and think, okay, I need to look after this. I cannot just treat it like nothing. You know? And it's about respect. It's just about respect.
Yeah.
Step-
Stepdaughter.
and son-in-law,
The-
they live here,
Yeah.
and so they look after the farm. And Nissa comes here every day and looks after the pigs, washes the floor, feeds them,
Okay.
makes some plantings
Yeah.
or something. And then from time to time we get into some big projects,
Yeah.
depending on.
So you come up with the ideas and
I come up with the ideas and the money.
okay. Yeah. So just give you guys a bit of a look around this farmhouse. As you heard Chris say, he's spends most of his week in town in the little village of Hoi Hun, and he's the man, the brains, and the pocket behind this farm out here.
this is not Hoi Kun in
What's
that
this?
house
No, this is
Nampa
this is Nampa.
Nam
Nampa
Nampa.
Pa.
Okay. Okay.
Nampa village
This
I
village
stand corrected.
was set up for disabled people from the war.
Okay.
It was set up at the end of the war in 1975.
บ้านนี่มัน
And the village where we live,
มึงเห็นคน
which is Hoi Kun, was set up in 1982 to take people who the government had been moving around for 6-7 years, decided that they were no longer a threat, said you can stay, this is it, your home. And the government gave everybody who wanted bits of land
Yeah.
so they could grow their crops, and people built their own houses.
And like you said earlier, everybody's happy. You haven't heard of any bad stories, any horror stories of from the re-education camps and things like that.
No. There is one guy disappeared about 8-9 years ago, I think. His name was Sompan. He obviously was doing stuff the government didn't like,
Yeah.
but he's the only person I've ever heard of. He was a Lao, who basically has disappeared. Apart from that, I've never heard of any. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the Hmong, but what the Hmong went through, and I know there are some subscribers who really think that we simply don't see what's going on. You couldn't hide it.
No.
You simply couldn't hide it.
No.
One time,
เดี๋ยวนี้เท่าไหร่แล้วเขาขาย
I went with a mate. We went from Vientiane. We were going to Conservan. You know the way you got to go like that. We went like that, straight line,
Yeah.
straight as it could be, which was up and down and up and down. Anyway, long story short, we came to one place, and my mate was in front of me, and he just shot through. Next thing I know, there's a policeman standing in the middle of the road going, huh? So I got on the phone to the wife, and the policeman said, look, there are Hmong people in here who are not happy about what's going on. And I do know from that area that there was a bus full of Chinese workers that was shot at. I think
Yeah.
6 died.
Yeah.
There is none of that going on now.
No.
The government has, I think, pretty much.
I think it was about 2017 was the last I heard of any
Yeah,
shootings.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Bandits, they called them.
Yeah. Well, what they were really upset about was that the government was basically leasing out what they thought was their land.
Yeah.
And so, but the government has been handing out blocks of land, bags of rice. Oh, there must be another quick story. When I was in Laos, I got caught talking to a captain who could speak English, and he was fighting for the Americans. And he told me what he received. He said they gave me this jacket, they gave me this helmet, they gave me this gun, and they give me 100 kilos of rice a month, and that's all they give me. That's it.
Yeah.
So really, the reason they fought was because they hated the government at the time.
Yeah.
The Hmong came down from China about 150 years ago,
Yeah.
and because Laos had almost nobody in it, because it was so hilly,
Yeah.
nobody bothered them.
There's still nobody up there, really.
No.
We'll drive ages and not see anybody.
That's right. Well, the government, I don't know what the government was paying its soldiers. I mean, even now, we have a nephew who's a captain in the army, and I think he only gets like $150 a month or something like
Yeah.
that.
Even the police force, it's not much. It's just like basic wages, and and the public actually subsidise the police force through them pulling you over, and you just not getting a ticket.
But it doesn't happen that often.
No.
Does it?
I haven't been pulled over in the car or bike yet, for doing anything wrong. Been pulled over at checkpoints, of course, and the car being out of registration in the book, it hasn't been up to date. Oh no, sorry about that. You pay your $5 and you're on your way.
Yeah, and that's the point.
Yeah.
When you look at comparing it to what it's like in the West, and yes, the policeman won't take your money. The court will take your money.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing a seatbelt. What a basic attitude here is, you're on your own. And if you like taking responsibility for your life, then you'll do just fine. If you want someone to look after you, then you won't do fine here. That's one of the reasons all those people died in that river, was because they were brought up in a place where there was dangerous stuff was not allowed.
Yeah, and there was rules and regulations,
Rules
what
and
you could and couldn't do.
That's right, but
Here,
these
no.
people hit the river, and there's no one saying, going on that river when it's the rainy season is probably not a smart thing to do. And it was 2 a month, literally, for a whole year, dying.
I've said that so many times here. The Lao government lets the people take their own life into their own hands. And that is the freedom they have here. That is why they can put 5 on a bike and ride around with no helmets,
And it's your fault. If you hurt yourself, it's your fault. Don't.
You're free to do that, but don't come crying to us.
No, and they don't.
No.
They say, okay.
Okay.
And that's the thing. When people think about communists, they think total control.
Yeah.
But if you look at the industry, there are banks that are government banks. But there's plenty of other banks that aren't government banks. The only thing that they insist on running is the power system. Well, except for they now sold it to leased it to the Chinese because they ran out of money. But what I'm saying is, every other little business you see is somebody else's. Even the there is now Baskin Robbins
Yeah.
in Vientiane, and Pizza Hut.
Uh, I haven't seen a Pizza Hut.
Yeah, there's one there. Yeah.
A Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Bloody expensive.
Yeah.
I went in there and there's a regular.
Oh, it's
size
more
pizza.
expensive
It was
than you'd pay back home in
it
the
was
UK.
$20
Or,
bucks.
yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
All right. Let's have a quick look out here.
Not it.
I've eaten. I had a good feed before you actually came in. Is there an upstairs to this?
There is.
I won't go up there,
No,
but
no,
I was
but
just
the
trying to
stairs
work
on the
out where
outside.
the outside stairs. Okay, because when we drove in, I noticed it was a 2-story farmhouse. But
farmhouse tour.
yeah, nice little view out under the farm here. Little kitchen there. Gas stove. Got the fridge.
So, Neenee, is it? What are you expecting?
Couple of life jackets there. So they must go on the river. Some pumpkins there. So
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Where I'm going.
very basic, isn't it?
Have fun.
Concrete floor. Got a farang bathroom in here. The shower. As you can see, no hot water.
Okay. So,
You're not
here's the
recording,
question.
yeah.
We have some land here, and for a very cheap lease, which can be negotiated for a long lease, 30 years, 60 years, you can build whatever you want, grow whatever you want, and live an easy life without anyone telling you how to live. Power is there, water, you can just dig your well, dig a sewer. What else do you need?
So you're putting the call out to
Anybody,
anybody, not just Lao. It could be
No.
somebody wanting to retire here.
just
and-
retire, or just somewhere to winter over. Maybe set something up so they could be there during the winter,
yeah.
or in Australia when the heat. You know, just
Yeah.
somewhere to be out of the crazy weather.
All right. Yeah. And he's dead serious. A serious question.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
he's going to have little parcels of land that can be rented. Yeah.
Yep.
If there is anybody interested, hit us up in the comments below, and I'll get you in touch with Chris privately.
Because I mean, I'll tell you what. If I didn't have what I have, I would really love to have something like that.
Yeah. No, I know there's a lot of people who want the same thing. You know, I was surprised. You know, there's been more response to people wanting to live a quiet rural life than actually live in the city or tourist destinations and things like that. You know, they just want to get away and fade away. You know, and live the simple life.
Just easy. You get up when you want to, poop when you want to, eat when you want to. Just you have control over your life. Because right now, most people, they're just chasing their tails. They've got to keep making
It's
money.
not living, mate.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
living. You are under control.
The difference is between a human being and a human doing. If you're living an easy life, you're a human being. If you're forever working, you're a human doing. That's the difference.
Dow has just asked a question. I've just picked up here. Question for Chris. How does one go about starting a business in Laos? You know, example, pig farm, fish restaurant, etc. As a non-citizen of Laos. I think you've
The simple answer is you can't do it without a Lao partner. You simply can't do it. It's too
like
difficult.
you could if you spoke fluently and you were
Yeah, if
you
could
had connections and things like that.
Speak fluent Lao.
But for an
But we're
everyday
talking
Joe,
about-
yeah.
Forget it. But if you can find the right partner, whether it's someone you marry or it's someone you trust, then it's a very easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And there's no rules. You set it, just set it up and run it.
You keep saying somebody you can trust. There's a lot of people like that in Laos, do you think? Or you've got to...
You just
How-
gotta find, how do you find them? Well, maybe through somebody like myself, and you trust my wife. you know, the point is you spend time with that person.
You
And then
don't
you
just
write
meet
up your
them at
thoughts.
a bar or getting your back massaged.
Here's the first thing I would say to anyone. If you want to come here, the first thing you're going to do is stay here for 3 months in the shittiest weather possible. And that's March to June. If you can cope with that, then this is the place for you. Simple.
Yeah, still loving it after that. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to love the rest of the year after that
absolutely.
because from the rainy season on.
Yeah, it's really miserable. But if you can create a space that you can cope with that, then it's a breeze after that. And try and find a way of living without aircon. Because aircon's expensive.
Okay, mate. Okay, I'm going to have to call. I was going to say cut it short, but it hasn't really been short. But I could talk to you for hours. I'm sure these people could listen to you for hours. And
Maybe past 1 and past 2.
dead set. We will be coming back just for the friendship we have, mate.
Absolutely.
So we'll cut it there, guys. A big thank you to Chris and his family. And as I said, we will be coming back. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you, nice. Ice. Nam con.
And good heard he very interesting about drone.
Yeah, he loved the drone.
Yeah.
What's your email?
It's snickrep65@gmail.
Snick rep. Right.
Perkins backwards.
Okay. Send me a message with that, so I'll put it on the screen. So you don't mind people hitting you up just for questions about life in Laos?
No,
okay.
no. I'm happy to help them out.
Yeah.
And the understanding, I'm not a professional, so what I tell you is my opinion.
Yeah.
And I will tell you if I just think it or no, that's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But always, of course, anything you're not sure about, ask someone else.
Yeah.
Ask 2 or 3 people. Yeah.
Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Oh man, look at my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of 2. Love lost such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost. Like a coin that won't get lost. Rolling home